You find me on a train from East Croydon heading over to Gatwick Airport. Now, this is a little bit different to the vlogs you might have seen recently in that this is not involving a Grand Prix weekend per se. This is involving something a little cool, and you'll be finding out my experience as I discover it, as we head over to Budapest and then toward the Hungarian with a bunch of cool people and legit journalists who apparently do not go up ladders. Now that is news to me. And for those of you who are curious, that was the Class 421, by the way. I know there are a lot of people who do like trains who watch my stuff. Zone J. I just realised I didn't actually have to check in my bag. I'm doing carry-on this time around. That's the first time I've actually done that. I'm only going for a couple of nights, but like, I was just on autopilot, so had a little bit of an awkward moment. Awkward moment number one, and we're not even at 8:30 in the morning yet. Fwan? What the heck's that? It's Fwan. What a silly name. Now, for any kind of airport pub, you need to find a pub that has a really kooky name. Check. I didn't even order a pizza. I'm such a renegade. It's quite good though. Shakshuka. Definitely worth a go. Cooked it a few times. Very nice. Very cool. Especially the Ferrari. That looks great. Yeah, I really need to build that McLaren one. That's been collecting dust for years now. Seriously, they're getting really good at this. They even did the details of the cannons and everything. What? That's great. We have our gate. It is gate Max Verstappen +1. And the cycle of air travel continues. Oh yeah, that's much better. I don't need business class. Anyone 6'3", just needs some extra legroom. That's all we need. We're good. Found my room relatively painlessly, room 301, and oh, there we go, and here we are. So we're just going to do a real-time room tour, and now with the lights on, oh yes, very cozy, nice and simple, doesn't really have to be swanky, just cozy actually. I mean, you've got to love this very traditional wallpaper, of course, lost words here. And the bathroom, just a nice simple thing. Oh, that is a nice mirror. Hello there. I've been traveling, as you can probably tell. Shower, nice and simple. Toilet, everything you might expect. It's even got a pillow menu. Oh, that is a 4-star hotel. A pillow menu. Hey, you guys hungry? Look at you. Aren't you just the smartest bottle of water I've ever seen with your little tie? That's cute. That's cute. Like a water bottle with a tie. Now I've seen everything. And I don't know if it's just the particular fragrance or anything, but there's a very, very faint smell of grandma in this room. And that's no bad smell at all. It's actually very nostalgic, but I just thought I'd let you know. Yeah, I like it though. It's comforting. It's comforting indeed. And oh, bed test. it's good, perfectly good. It's firm but not too firm. I don't feel like I'm melting into it. So nice. This isn't some holiday, by the way. I've actually got to do some work. First try. Now, the reason why I'm here is because I've been brought here to present some presentations for both DHL and the German F1 website Motorsport Magazin. So I'm here to do some English versions of videos that they've already done over the last year or two. So I've been selected. Yeah, the guy, the ladder man. And this is my first ever bit of live presentation. And I'm not gonna lie, I am very much bricking it, because not only have I got to do things away from my beloved ladder, but I've also got to come up with things on the fly. And sure, writing a script at 4 a.m. in the morning in the comfort of my own home is all well and good, but when you just got to come up with things for a global multi-billion-dollar company in DHL, and you get to do it within the Formula One paddock and pit lane, that's a lot of pressure. That really is. And unfortunately, there'll be things I definitely can't show you, because in order to get the passes to even go there, I had to basically sign my life away, which means that I can't actually take, well, this trusty camera with me. Nor can I even share audio recordings, but that's to be expected, and I don't want to get in trouble in my first go-around, because eventually I do want to get permanent accreditation. So I've got to, come up with some ideas for call to actions in relation to different kinds of jobs. So yeah, the ultimate video, it will come out in the fullness of time. I'll link to it eventually, but yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing right now. I'm just going to lock myself away for the rest of the evening, unless there are any other plans my colleagues would like to do this evening. But yeah, for the most part, yeah, I gotta work. So with that, okay. Now, what kind of acronyms can I use with DHL? Now, damn, that's some heavy logistics. By the way, here's a little book recommendation. It's quite rare to find, but this is a really good book by Di Spires, and it's called I Just Made the Tea. And yes, of course, there's a little bit of Formula One gossip in here, but it's essentially the story about Di Spires and her friend, where they were caterers within Formula One for 3 decades. And there's some really cool stories, such as with Ayrton Senna and Michael Schumacher. I've only just started it, as you can probably tell. And incidentally, I did break into the minibar, because I realized by the time I finished doing some scripting, it was like 7 o'clock, I was tired, I didn't want to go out, and then I found out the exchange rate wasn't so bad. And I've just come out of the shower, but £3 for a bag of pistachios, that's not bad. So I'm thinking, you know what, fine. That is better than me just traipsing around somewhere, not quite sure what I want, but I do like me some pistachios and then a drink, so there you go. A £5. I'll take a £5, for tonight, while I'm just, hotel room bound doing all this work, just to make sure. I want to make a good impression. I don't want to be going in going like, hey guys, it's your boy, and I'm just coming in, and then the moment I have to do some work, it's like, no. I want to be able to, give it my all as best as I can. So I think I'm just going to keep on reading that book, and then I'm probably just going to have an early night, and then see where we are in the morning. So I'll see you in the morning. And just like that, a week later, you find me back up the ladder. And you might be wondering, why did you do the massive time skip, Law? Well, it just goes to show in what I just said. There is very little I could show you after Tuesday night, because I could have shown some things on Wednesday as I was driving to the track with Christian, Marcus, and our camera guy, Jonas, but it just ultimately became quite clear that we were going to be very much in work mode, and we weren't too sure how we were going to be vibing together. But fortunately, it became very clear as we were recording, they were going to have a teleprompt, and that saved my bacon. That helped me a lot when thinking on the fly. And within a couple of scenes, we managed to bash them out. And not only did I get good praise from Christian himself, I also got a fist bump. And I'm thinking, yes, this guy has nigh on 20 years more so of experience in being an F1 journalist, and he gave me a fist bump.
How amazing is that? And then for the rest of the day, we just flitted around between the pit lane, the paddock, doing some really cool shots. There is one of me in a forklift, which will become very clear in a video that I think will be posted to this channel in collaboration with DHL, who were the backers as per my paddock pass. So this, I know, is technically e-waste since this is a one-time pass for the Hungarian Grand Prix, but this means the world to me. It's a sign of where we've come on this channel in the last 2.5 years, and actually going back a little further than that to the end of 2021 when I applied for a job with Formula One as an editor. I got to the interview process. It didn't come good in the end, but there was some good positive feedback from it. It was just a case of I was looking to do one type of content and they were looking for another type of content. But in the end, you get me right here in front of the F1 turnstiles on a cherry picker. And by the way, that picture was not taken by me. It was taken by our photographer, Jonas, who did have media accreditation. So Formula One, if you're watching this, I did not break the terms and conditions that I agreed to in all of the bump that you sent me. That was taken by a media accredited guy. So there you go. This was a very, very interesting experience in that you don't often get to see it. And if you're not being catered to by the Paddock Club or a team or what have you, although technically we did have the entire runs of the DHL motorhome in that we could just go in and out as we please for drinks, etc. It was mainly a case of just observing. If you're a people watcher, you will love a paddock because there are people going about their business all the time, especially when they're setting things up with all the high-vis jackets, etc. You are tripping up over a lot of people, and if you're not somebody as part of a team and doing stuff in terms of setting up the motorhomes and the garages, you are a bit of a nuisance. But I was doing stuff. I felt like I was doing stuff, but on the Thursday, everything changes. The biggest form of entertainment is watching how the photographers swarm, including some really high-profile photographers. They're just standing there. They get the snifter of a driver coming out of the entrance from down below, because I got to do that on the turnstile, and it was like, doot, 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 that with my face on it. That was great. But then they come in, and then the photographers go... and me not having to worry about it, I just found that incredibly funny. And there was a moment when Lando came in. He was just so stealthy. And in fact, on the McLaren TikTok of him arriving, there is a shot of me in the background, just sat at a table, just watching the world go by as I was waiting for my taxi to go to the airport on Thursday. Although technically my pass was good until the end of Sunday, I did have to get back because I'd been away a lot in July, as you could tell from the vlogs. I didn't want to, as we Brits say, over-egg the pudding in regards to, you know, my partner and my kid, because I want to spend time with my kid, especially now it's the summer holidays. We're going to go off for a couple of breaks in August, so there will be a reduction in content after that. But it was certainly a really good experience and a real good sign that in terms of journalistic output, all of those VTs that you do for Sky Sports and TV channels, etc., I could do it. And I wasn't starstruck or anything like that. I didn't get too nervous, although it was a comfortable amount of nervousness. It just meant that I'd reached a milestone in this journey of doing Formula One content, in that I got to do media content within Formula One, and in fact get to go behind the barriers and stand right next to some Haas front wings. That was crazy. And the connections that Christian had, being able to just quickly walk into the Sauber motorhome, get a drink, maybe a cheeky coffee, then go to the Red Bull motorhome where we could leave our stuff because connections again. Networking. It's all about networking. And then obviously managing to pilfer a couple of, bottles of drink, water specifically, because, I was doing vocal stuff. I wanted to keep my, voice box lubricated and not, have that Red Bull blood orange cola, which I really loved in Austria. I even bumped into a couple of people who'd seen my videos, including one guy from Aston Martin. If you're watching this, hi, by the way. And he was there in his buggy, and he just rocked up to me as he was taking some stuff to the garage and went, I watch all your videos. Then at the media centre, where I couldn't go in because I didn't have media accreditation, there was a young staffer within the media crew who said hi. He's been giving me weather reports throughout the entire weekend, so that was nice. And just the facilities. The facilities are really, really cool and brand new. It's a shame we didn't get to see the old school stuff, or myself, and it's still ongoing, the development, but it was really interesting to see all of the tests that Formula One did in terms of broadcasting, then setting up the bird's eye view camera down the start finish straight, just all these little things, and just calibrating things to make sure it all goes off without a hitch. That's the kind of stuff I really, really like. A calibration for screen tests, and then they use a Niki Lauda crossing the checkered flag to mean that's the end of the test. And just that little thing that not many other people would care about, but I care about. Then it just makes me think about my dad. You know, we talk about Formula One. I know I go on about my dad, but it means it's really important. We shared Formula One. It was one of our things we had in common. And to get to that place where I can stand on the cherry picker in front of the turnstiles for Formula One and then just say, I made it. It's really, really special. And I have you to thank as well for following me on this particular journey to where I can collaborate with experienced journalists. So shout out to Christian, Manuel, Jonas and the like, Philip, Marcus. You all made it a really, really fun time. You will eventually see the video that we recorded in maybe a couple of months or something. And if not, DHL will probably be using all of the ads and calls to action that we made on their social media platform. So you might see me there. And if you do drop a comment here or on my socials. And I think that's all I've got to say, really. It was just a really cool, fun time, something you don't often get to do. And I've got this now, and this is one of my pride and joy and a testimony to what we've been able to accomplish together up on this ladder. So you know what? I think it's just a formal ceremony of it just going, you know, alongside it or draped around it. Just, you know, just nice little simple addition like there. There, thank you for hearing my ramblings and a mini vlog of sorts. But in the meantime, if you'd like to watch one of my other bits of content, I think this bit of content might tickle your fancy. I'll see you over there.